We've had a couple of questions on the forum in the last few weeks about some pull-up and push-up stuff and about skipping ropes and stretching, so we're going to start to chip our way through these. A couple of themes. We've had some questions around like 2 or 3 ways we can get our first pull-up or get better at pull-ups. Obviously that strict work being crucial there. Tim's got his favourite couple of methods for developing some upper body pulling strength.
Okay, so 2 things we're going to look at. First one is a top hold, so we can get a box out. We're looking at holding ourselves at the top. In this top position we want to be nice and tight, this slight hollow shape. So we're going to jump up, try and keep our chin over the bar, and work on holding here. To begin with, maybe we're at a couple of seconds, building out maybe to a 10-second hold. When we're at that 10-second hold kind of place, we can start looking at some negatives. So we're going to start in the same place, that top hold. And then we're going to slowly lower ourselves down into hang. The slower we can do it, the more work we can get done. 5 seconds down is a really good aim. Get all the way into the hang, then we can get back on our box and we can repeat. So those 2 things are really, really good to work on our strict pulling.
What I would say is, if you're not a gymnastics ninja like Tim, maybe have a slightly higher box so that when you set up for your first chin over bar hold, your chin is already over the bar. That way you can start playing with taking away your feet, and you've already got a box there in case suddenly you find that actually there's not quite as much strength as maybe you were hoping for. Having that set up with your chin already over the box gives you less potential to find that you're falling away from the bar very quickly.
Skipping ropes?
Sorry, skipping ropes. Yeah, questions about skipping ropes. What skipping rope should I buy? How long should my skipping rope be? Length thing is super easy. Standing under 1 foot, you want the handles to meet the rope somewhere between like nipple and armpit height. Starts getting a little bit more like preferential as you get into it and you get more and more double unders. This will be kind of as short as I'd recommend for starting out. Maybe you want a little bit longer, depends on how efficient your technique is. When you're buying your first rope, if you've got loads and loads of double unders, then a lightweight rope makes it easier to do loads and loads of double unders. If you haven't got lots of double unders yet, you're still working on that first 20, 50 double unders, you want to be able to feel what the rope is doing. Something a little bit heavier is better. A couple of ropes I've seen in the gym that I think are a little bit heavier and a little bit better for learning with are the bulldog rope. They're metal, there's a little bit more weight to the handles, you can feel what the rope's doing a little bit better. The V Elites rope on whip, I'll send a link with both of those. And if I can find him in the meantime, Demetrius has got a really nice heavy rope that you can really feel what the rope is doing. Once you get those first kind of 100 double unders under your belt, and you can pretty reliably hit lots and lots of double unders, getting something lighter allows you to do less work to get those double unders done. But all the time you're trying to feel what the rope is doing, you want a little bit of weight and a little bit of feedback to that rope. Push-ups?
Push-ups. So, one of the other questions was how to improve push-ups or get your first push-up. So one we use all the time when it comes up in workout is our ring push-up. So the further we step out, the easier this is going to be. So it's a really good way to track if you're getting stronger. So the further we go back, the harder it's going to get. So we can come down into this bottom position, back up, trying to keep everything nice and tight here. What we want to avoid is these rings going super wide out here. We want to keep them nice and narrow. As I said, we can walk back. As you get a little bit stronger, you can track your progress. Same thing we can do with a box. We can get the box on high setting, hands on the edge of the box. We can come down, get your chest, touch the box, and back up. As we get more comfortable, as we get a little bit stronger, we can drop that box down. Do the same thing again. A good way to track your progress. If you're particularly wanting to look at working it on the floor, same as with the pull-ups, negatives are a really good option. So we can get into the top of our push-up. Nice, solid position, shoulders over your hands, and we can slowly go down, keeping those elbows in, down into our bottom position. Then we can just drop our knees down to get us back up, and we can repeat. So those 3 things there, really, really good options.
Couple of sets working for like 5 minutes, doing 2 or 3 sets of holds, or 2 or 3 sets of maybe 3 to 5 negatives on both the pulling and the pushing option are going to move you guys forward if those are things you're chasing. Final question that we wanted to cover off in this video: how much stretching should I be doing? That's a big it depends question, which means it's a really good question, right? The more it depends, the better. Tim and I were chatting about this beforehand, and you said like it's a type of training, right?
Yeah, from a gymnastics point of view, it's as important as strength. So if you're looking at it that way, you should be doing as much time on stretching as you're doing on strength. But if doing the splits and doing straddle planches and all these crazy gymnastics things is not really your goal, doing hours of stretching is not for you. You don't need that, but maybe.
Like, I think the first question is, what is the goal? If you're coming in here to get fitter and get better at real life, then you need to be able to get into positions, like the bottom of a squat, right? And if you find that the bottom of your squat, for example, you're super pitched forward and you get stuck here, then maybe grabbing onto something and sitting down into the lowest squat you've got and spending a couple of minutes there a day is going to move you forward really quickly. It's why we do so many pausing squat holds in warm-ups, because spending time down here makes you better in this position, right? Same as holding something over your head makes you better at being overhead. That's why that stuff's put in warm-ups, to give you better positions, right? Give you better shapes. If your goal is to do the splits, you probably want to be stretching for half an hour a day, right?
Yeah.
More? Less? Like lots?
Yeah, lots. I think the main thing is like find that goal, and then from that goal then you can work out how much you need to put into it, but it's consistency is the main thing. If you want to get more flexible, consistently stretch. If you want to get your pull-up, consistently do some of this work. If you do it for a couple of weeks, then don't do it again for another month, then the adaptation's not going to be there.
If you're stretching because things are sore after a workout, you're probably not going to see the difference that you want. Soreness happens because muscles get damaged, they get little tears in them, it hurts. Stretching won't take those tears away. So if you're stretching because you're sore and you want it to go away as part of your recovery, you're probably more effective drinking some water, getting some decent sleep, going for a 20-minute walk, or doing some other gentle cardio to get some blood flowing around than you are having a stretch. That said, things like your squat mobility or your ability to deadlift and get to that bottom position without your back like losing shape, spending time at those end ranges of those positions is going to be valuable to move you forward in that direction. So not a super like concise answer, because it depends on what you're trying to get out of it. If you have more specific questions, like come and chat to us. But I guess if you want to get more bendy, stretch more. If you want to get stronger, do more strength work. If you want to recover better, do some general moving, because stretching isn't going to get rid of that soreness. Otherwise, team, catch you in the gym. Toodles.